What's up everyone, and thank you for stopping by the channel. Today's project is the Shindewa trimmer, and the problem is that it has a serious fuel leak problem. The worst part is the leak is more dangerous than you think. Let's take a good look at it, find out what's wrong with it, and hopefully we can fix it. In this video, we try and repair this trimmer. However, it may not be the exact repair you need to make to yours. We'll explore other options later in the video. If I needed to use a good quality trimmer, this would have to be the one I would choose. It's extremely well built and very powerful for its size. The best part is it's very light and won't wear you out when you use it. Whoever owned it took very good care of it, but it's starting to show its age. It's been sitting for a while now, mainly because it leaks fuel just as soon as you put it into the tank. This isn't just a nuisance, it's dangerous because it's covering the engine in dirt and grass that simply will not come off. At first I thought the tank had a crack in it, but if you take a closer look you can see there's dirt above the tank, so the leak is higher than the tank itself. A busted primer bulb is our best possibility, but it's not cracked either. But before we dive into the diagnostic, let's start the engine and make sure it runs so we know that we aren't wasting our time. So it does run, however it's not getting to full speed, but it's pretty close though. We can look at that in a later video, but let's focus on the leak first. After taking the top cover off the engine, we can see just how serious the problem really is. The top end of the engine is also covered in dirt and grass. The worst part is by the ignition coil, where the air from the flywheel is supposed to cool the engine by removing heat through its fins. Unfortunately, the fins are also covered too, which is going to allow the top end to basically overheat. If used in this condition, the engine will wear much quicker and eventually die. Before we go any further, let's use some compressed air and remove as much oil, dirt, and grass as possible. Otherwise, we'll need to get an engine rebuild kit for this trimmer, and I'm not sure how expensive it is or if it's even available. After a good cleaning, we don't have to worry about the engine overheating anymore. And with it clean, we'll also see if the leak is actually fixed. But back to the leak, I want to focus near the fuel tank, and the most likely place is the large grommet on top of the tank. However, the grommet is in perfect condition and I haven't seen any fuel leaking from it, so we'll have to keep looking elsewhere. Now, the least likely place for a leak is the fuel tank vent and filter, which is this brownish plastic piece here. The easiest way to check is to make sure there's fuel in the tank and then turn the whole thing over and watch for a slow drip. I don't know if you saw it, but it dripped a bit of fuel, so we need to replace it. You can order one online, but I happen to have one on a fuel line set that's for an Echo trimmer. Now, I would replace the whole thing, but the grommet size is slightly different between the two of them. Besides, it's also a hassle to change out. But to replace the vent, all you need to do is pull off the old one and install the new one on the fuel line. Of course, we now have to test that we fixed the problem by once again flipping it over and seeing if it drips any fuel. And it looks like we've fixed the problem, which is pretty good. Now, while we're here, I want to clean the fuel tank. I know it won't make a bit of difference, but since we clean the top part of the engine, we might as well clean the lower part as well. This will also let us see if we truly fixed the leak. We're also going to clean the bracket that protects the tank, as it's completely filthy as well. Unfortunately, it doesn't look any better, so I'll use a different type of cleaner. Even if we don't get it looking like new, at least we'll get all the oil and dirt off of it. I guess that's as good as it's going to get, so let's replace the metal bracket and its bolts and then try starting it one more time. We need to make sure it still runs even after the cleaning we've done. We'll address the running problems later on, but it's still quite usable as is. So my question is, would you try using a trimmer that had a major fuel leak that could be a possible fire hazard, or would you take a chance and continue using it? I know what I would do, but I'm more curious about your answer. Thank you for watching. I really appreciate your time. Please feel free to ask any questions, and I hope to see you in my next video.